It's March 1997. I'm the mother of an almost 2-year-old and a 2-month-old. My days at that time consist of a very good day, meaning I know what's for dinner and I've showered in the same day. Though if those two goals were met, if I don't want to escape the house when my husband comes home, I've had a shower and I have a semblance of what I think we're having for dinner, I feel like I've made it. I was not very organized when my kids were young, and it was very challenging for me. Although I really enjoyed being a mom and embracing all the things about being a mom. It was something that was very comfortable for me, and I actually thought it was fun despite the sleep deprivation and lack of showering. March 3rd, 1997, my youngest son is scheduled for his 2-month appointment at the doctor's, and he has a little bit of a cold. So we go to the appointment. It's a very small doctor's office right here in our community, one doctor. The nurse also answers the phone and checks you in. Small office. It had been the same doctor that we went to since my oldest son was born. So they knew me, they knew what I was like as a mom. I wasn't the kind of mom who called with every little question, and I wasn't the kind of mom that I wasn't a big worrier. So I just kind of rolled with things as they happened. When my kids went to sleep for the night, I was happy they were sleeping. I was not the mom who went in and checked to make sure they were breathing. If they were in there and they were quiet, I figured all was well. My son wakes up with a cold, and we go to his doctor's appointment. And I say to the doctor, I'm not sure what's going on with him, but I'd like to hold off on his shots. So if he gets a fever, I know if his fever is from the shots or something else that's going on with him. And she says, okay. We do the appointment. She does an exam, height, weight, everything's normal. We go home. He doesn't eat a whole lot that night. The next day, he doesn't eat a whole lot. I call in. This is kind of unusual for me. I don't call in with lots of questions. I'm not a big worrier. And I say, he's not eating a whole lot. At what point should I be concerned about how much he's eating? And she said, if he has a cold, his nose is stuffy, he might not eat a lot. When he's hungry, he will eat. And I say, okay. The next morning, he still hasn't eaten much. He's very tired, he's lethargic. I take my oldest son to a babysitter, and I call the doctor's office, and I say, hi, this is Debbie. Adam's still not doing very well, and I think he should be seen today. And she said, oh, okay, what were you thinking? I said, I'm in my car now, and I'm coming to the office. And they say, oh, okay. So I go into the office. They, start to assess him, and I can tell that they agree something's not quite right. So they say to me, we're going to have you go over to the hospital for a little bit of a test and just take him right in when he gets there. Well, my older son had jaundice. So we would sit him by a window, he'd get some sunlight, we'd take him into the hospital, and he would get a blood test. Not alarming to me at all. We get to the emergency room, and she says to me, when you go there, just go right in. And I thought, well, that's nice. They're just going to take us right away. Isn't that fun? Also to note, my father-in-law was on the board at this hospital, 2 family members. I kind of thought maybe they were just being nice, taking us right in. We get there, and the lady says, do you have Adam? And I said, yes, and they take us right in. So we go in the back room, and all of a sudden this SWAT team appears in this room, and they're saying, Mom, don't let him fall asleep. Don't let him fall asleep. Keep talking to him, keep him awake, make sure that he stays awake. And I think we're going for like a little blood test, and all of a sudden I realize something very different is going on here. I start hearing the words Life Flight, Hershey, and all these other things, and they're saying, is your husband coming? Is he on the way? And I suddenly realize he's not just getting a blood test. Something's going on here. And I start asking for my family members who work at the hospital, do you think this doctor might be around? Do you think this doctor? They're my relatives. And they get them and bring them down. So I now realize my son, who I thought had a little cold, is very, very sick. Long story short, it's foggy out, so he can't go by helicopter, but they take him in an ambulance to Hershey. And we were up there for 12 days. He's very sick. He's sick enough that they ask me what our religion is, if he's been baptized, and if we think maybe we would want to have that done. He is sick. This very sick, drastic situation, and we're spending all our time at the hospital. But the thing that happens in all this sickness is a gift that I got. I learned so many things while we were in the hospital about the whole experience, but I got this gift amongst all others, and I opened it. And it was an outfit for my son that was the next size up. And in seeing that outfit, the next size bigger, it was a tangible example that someone thought he would grow into that outfit, and he was no longer going to be sick. And that's one of the best gifts I've ever gotten.